Start. My wife handed me court papers while holding another man's hand and said, "Our son deserves a better father, a real man's figure, not you, pathetic bald loser. You've always been a problem." My son didn't flinch. Mom's right. Start. I remember the exact weight of her hand in mine. But it wasn't mine she held. Her fingers were entwined with someone else's. A man I barely knew, but who had already taken the place I thought I'd held forever. She looked at me, eyes cold, lips cruel. "Our son deserves a better father," she said, as if rehearsed. "A real man's figure, not you, pathetic bald loser. You've always been a problem." I froze. My own son didn't flinch, not once. "Mom's right," he said, voice steady, unnervingly calm. "You didn't even buy me a car for my 16th birthday, unlike Steve, who promised me a new BMW. I stepped forward, blocking the door. His jaw tightened. "Mom, show him the video, or I will." In that moment, my world collapsed. We had once been everything. I can still see the first time I held him in my arms, my son's tiny fists clutching my shirt. We laughed together, fought over trivial things, made quiet promises in the dark. I thought we were a family. I thought love could withstand anything. I thought she loved me. I was wrong. The first suspicion came when her phone would light up at odd hours, her eyes darting away when I entered a room. Then there were the weekends she worked late, the vague excuses, the sudden affection toward him, Steve, the man who would become my shadowed tormentor. But the final proof, the final dagger, was the video my son threatened to show me. My own son betraying me without hesitation. I didn't confront them, not then. I watched, I observed. Every whispered conversation, every secret glance, every financial transaction she thought I'd never notice. I cataloged it all, quietly, methodically. I went through our finances, a trail of transfers to accounts I had never known existed. Payments to luxurious trips, cars, dinners, all for him, her new man, not me, not us. I hired a private investigator, not for exposure, not yet, for precision, for timing. I needed the full picture. I needed everything documented, her lies, his promises, their collusion. Every day I reminded myself, calm, calculated, patience. Revenge isn't chaos, it's architecture. The first step came quietly. I filed motions she wouldn't expect, freezing assets, redirecting our investments, subtly reshaping the financial landscape to my advantage. She noticed eventually, her eyes flickered, suspicion rising, but she had no proof, no clue who was moving the chess pieces behind the curtain. Next, the surveillance. Their secret meetings, their whispered plans, their indulgent arrogance. I collected every scrap of evidence, photographs, videos, recordings. By the time I struck, I knew exactly when and where her hubris would betray her. I didn't rush. Timing was everything. The courtroom was my stage, my silence my weapon. The day came. She strutted in, Steve at her side, both confident, both smug. My son's eyes were on me, curious, cautious. "Your Honor," I began, voice steady, calm, even as adrenaline burned my chest. "I believe my family deserves the truth." Then I released the proof. Every bank transfer, every secret account, every deceptive conversation, every lie she had told him, every promise she had broken. Every frame of the video my son had threatened to show me, projected for all to see. Her face went pale. Steve's jaw tightened. My son? He looked like he had never understood her at all. The room was silent. The weight of betrayal, visible in their eyes, settled over them like a lead blanket. You wanted a better father, I said, voice low but sharp. You wanted real strength? Look at what your choices have done. Look at who you made us all become. She sputtered, tried to speak, tried to twist, to lie. But every word had already been caught, cataloged, and displayed. Every manipulation laid bare. When the judgment came, it was not mercy, but precision. Custody, finances, accountability, all realigned. I walked out, not shouting, not triumphant in the way they expected. Calm, controlled, silent victory. I held my son's gaze once, a quiet understanding passing between us. I didn't need words. He didn't need them either. And then, finally, alone, I allowed myself a moment. Not grief, not joy, something quieter. Satisfaction. The kind that comes from knowing you moved carefully, invisibly, like a shadow no one suspected. Her betrayal had been monumental. Mine, meticulous. I didn't celebrate, I didn't gloat, I simply existed in the aftermath, fully aware of the power I had reclaimed. Because sometimes the strongest revenge isn't loud, it isn't messy. It's the patient execution of every fact, every truth, every consequence, until the betrayers finally see the architecture of their own downfall. And when they do, there's no coming back.